The magic that you are looking for lies within the elixir of your own essence. Contrary to popular belief, you are not trying to strive to get healed, okay? You're not trying to strive to kill this version of you who you are right now. You're not trying to strive to just forget all your trauma and then I'll be free and da-da-da-da, right? This sends you on a never-ending path, a never-ending wormhole of self-resentment and self-hatred. Your shadow is the most perfect muse. Collaborating with your fear, with your shame, with all the things that you have been trying to push down is actually how you begin to master these things. I was just talking about this in my class yesterday. When it comes to New Age spirituality, when it comes to love and light spirituality, it's exactly that. It's love and light. But we all know that life is not just love and light. Life is darkness, and life is every shade in between. And when you study ancient spirituality and you study deeper levels of understanding of the world, of consciousness, of humanity, you'll see representations of not just light, but also dark. So today I want to talk about how Ifa saved my life as someone who used to have really bad anger issues. And y'all, we're not even going to say I don't have anger issues anymore. But do I express them in a harmful way? Hell no. I channel that shit into everything that you're seeing right now. I channel that shit into everything that I write. I channel that shit into everything that I do. I alchemize it into something that is actually not just useful for myself, but also other people. So I'll just claim it right now. Maybe I still have anger issues, and I'm happy that I fucking do, right? Because the moment that you start to resent those parts of you that just were birthed from you not being heard, not being seen, not being celebrated, you resent that aspect of you that is hurting, that is in pain, that deeply just wants to express. You start to literally chip away at your own ashe. See, you guys know, I love Ifa. I feel like Ifa is my soulmate. Because the more that I learn about Ifa, the more intimate I get with this technology, the more I fall in love with it, because it's a never-ending, eternal well of knowledge. But one of the biggest things, one of the main things that I love about Ifa, my journey with Ifa, is that when you learn about all of the orishas, when you learn about all these different personifications of the divine, of Olodumare, of the creator, you understand that they are powerful because of these different aspects that make them quote unquote flawed. You understand each one of their origin stories contribute to their ashe, their power. And when you see your trauma, when you see your challenges, your initiations as just part of your origin story, as the reasons why you are powerful, then you'll start to understand. I want to say one more thing before we go into the topic of this conversation. Your purpose is not a destination. Your purpose is an entity. Your purpose is an entity that has life cycles. That has cycles, rather. One of those cycles being life. Your purpose is an entity that constantly grows and expands within itself and changes and is dynamic. See, the way that we kill our own energy, the way that we kill our own ashe is by deciding to never be dynamic again, aka perfectionism, aka wanting to know all the answers. We talked about in class yesterday, your purpose begins with a question and it ends with the question. The questions that burn within you, that you literally have to answer. Your purpose begins with those questions, and as you move up through the different energy centers and your energy field, it ends with the question of, show me what I cannot see. Allow me to hear what I cannot hear. Allow me to know what I cannot know. What is it that is unknown within my life? In the Sahasrara, in the crown chakra, we allow ourselves to be open to the unknown, to the all. Your purpose begins with a question and it ends with a question. And in this whole unfolding of your purpose as an entity, you begin to realize that you're never supposed to have all the answers. And when you have all the answers, you might as well give up. I'm gonna say that again for somebody who needs to fucking hear it. When you have all the answers, you might as well give up. You're not supposed to have all the answers. And the way that your purpose builds on itself as an entity is through continuing to ask the questions that burn within you. Continuing to ask the questions that burn within you, baby. Now, if you have some type of other burn, that's a whole nother issue. But the things that are burning within you, the questions that you must answer, that you find yourself returning back to again and again and again. This is the entity that you're meant to really build on. This is the energy. It's almost like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a painting that has no edges. As someone who's been doing purpose work with people for 8 fucking years, and hopefully, dozens and millions of years after this, the biggest mistake that I see people doing is not seeing their shadow as their perfect muse, not collaborating with their shame, collaborating with their fear, collaborating with their anxiety, collaborating with the things that we're so afraid of. I don't believe in shadow healing. I do not believe in shadow healing. I believe in shadow integration. I believe in the harmonization of the splits in the psyche. I believe in embrace. Because when we inflict pain on ourselves or others, that's never the foundation of what we truly want to express. The same way that when some people get angry, they start to cry. That's because anger is not a foundational emotion. It's a response emotion. And so when people hear this thing of you should never heal your shadow, people hear this thing you should never, they get so confused because they didn't know that there was another way. I didn't know that there was another way either. When I was arrested in 2018 for fighting, being in a really bad altercation, I thought, and then years after that, I thought that I had to heal something within myself. When I was homeless and I was looking for an apartment, and I was losing so much weight because I stopped eating because I was so stressed. I had a fucking court case I had to beat. I was suspended from school, all this bullshit, right? I thought that I had to heal something within myself in order for me to finally be worthy enough to step back into the world. But in reality, I didn't have to heal anything. I had to integrate. I had to understand. And I had to collaborate with. So again, I don't believe in shadow healing. I believe in shadow integration. I believe in integrating these splits in the psyche. What that means is when we go through certain challenges or traumatic events, we create these splits in the psyche. We create the shadow warrior, right? If you took Genesis with us last year, you know all about the shadow warrior, baby. We worked with that shadow warrior for weeks. I love Genesis. But you create a shadow warrior. And why I like to call it the shadow warrior is because the shadow is just a part of us that tries to protect us, right? The shadow is just a part of us that was birthed from not so opportune conditions that have caused a split in our mind. This split makes us think, oh, I have to protect myself. I have to do this. I have to do that in order for me to be okay. And that shadow warrior begins to build its armor. The armor of anger, of lashing out, or the armor of self-judgment, of resentment, the armor of trying to hide yourself, of trying to not be seen, of speaking so low, of moving out the way. That shadow warrior, it does all these things. It's just trying to protect you. Those splits in your psyche, right? The shadow warrior, the protector and the protected. You're trying to protect your vulnerability. You're trying to protect the version of you who was violated or traumatized. You're trying to protect that version of you who's soft. And again, who just wanted to be loved and heard and embraced. You're trying to protect this, right? And so when we go through the healing journey, many times what we try to do is we try to eradicate that shadow warrior. We try to cast them off away. But you can never, when something has come up in your mind, it never goes away. They're entities. We're gonna come back to this energy or this concept of the purpose as an entity in just one moment. But when the Shadow Warrior is created, and you go through all these things, you go to fucking therapy, you go to X and Y and Z, right? And you try to heal it. You try to talk to the shadow. You try to reason with the shadow. And you try to do this and you try to do that, right? It doesn't go away. You just learn to silence it even more. It doesn't go away. You just learn to push it back into the closet and you shove it back and back and back. And then you wonder why the same people who got love and light in their bio are the same ones in the comments attacking people, child. What is going on here? Because in the back of the head, when you push and push and push and push all that shit to the fucking back, you end up getting possessed by the very thing that you're suppressing. Your shadow begins to possess you. When you look away, it possesses you. And so instead, when you bring that shadow warrior to the front and you learn how to collaborate with it and you learn to listen to it and you learn to understand it and you learn to make friends with it. People say this thing all the time, right? Oh, I make friends with my demons. What the fuck does that mean? That means that you're collaborating with your shame. That means you're collaborating with your anger. That means you're collaborating with your fear. You're moving towards it. You're creating something and moving forward with it. Now, some of you may know what I'm saying. Some of you may be artists. Some of you may be creatives. Some of you may be people who are really creating something. You're creating whatever it's painting, songs, music, videos. Maybe you're creating whatever you're creating. You may understand. And then some of you may be like, well, what am I? I'm not creating anything. I'm not creative. That's exactly why we're so fucking depressed nowadays, because we have stopped creating. When you suppress the energy of creation, you are literally breeding life or breeding death within your own ashe, within your own body. We've come into this state of being numb. We have all these things to pacify ourselves, to continue and perpetuate that state of numbness. And the way we become alive, I love when the crows come, baby. The way that we start to become alive again is by collaborating with the very things that we've been suppressing. What can I create with my fear? How can I move towards my fear? Knowing that my fear is just excitement in a different fucking outfit. My fear is just excitement in a different outfit. Fear is excitement inverted. When you choose to collaborate with your fear, when you choose to collaborate with your shame, leading with the very thing that you're the most shameful of, talking about it, moving forward with it. This is why we are so used to influencers. We're so used to people who are doing the things and whatever. But no one is revolutionary anymore because everyone is so afraid to, number one, look at their shadow, and number two, be canceled. Do we want to be normal in a society that is numb? Do we want to be normal in a society that is moving into the state of what's the word? Subhumanness? I don't even know if it's subhuman. It's transhumanism. That's what it is. Perfectionism. There's no life in perfectionism. And let's return back to this energy of your purpose as an entity. Your purpose is not one destination. Your purpose is not a statement. Your purpose is not a thing. And I've said before, your purpose is an energy, not a title. I'm going to build on that. I said that in 2019, but I'm going to build on that. Your purpose is not even an energy. It's not even a title. It's an entity that you build on. You take inspiration from your shame. You take inspiration from your trauma. You take inspiration from your fear. You take inspiration from all these things. And you build on it and you collaborate with these things. Using your fear as inspiration. Using your shame, your trauma, your anxiety as inspiration. Vowing to never answer all of your questions. Vowing to never have it all together. Vowing to never have it all together, right? And so your purpose is an entity because it's ever evolving. The elixir of your own essence. this elixir of your own essence. This is the version of you who isn't bombarded with these ideas of this is right and that is wrong and I need to heal this and I need to do this, the elixir of your own essence sees all the parts of you, understands and sees, just witnesses all the parts of you. Witnesses all the parts of you, babe. And takes inspiration from all these things. The depth of emotion in which you feel is a portal to deeper levels of creation. There's so much. There's so much for you to discover. There's so much for you to become. And the becoming is not changing. The becoming is expanding the awareness to perceive all that which you have already became. But when we pigeonhole ourselves, when we block ourselves from truly understanding ourselves or truly looking at ourselves, we get into this state of transhumanism. No one is revolutionary anymore because everyone is terrified of being canceled. Everyone is terrified of looking at themselves. We live in a world that we have learned to police ourselves. And I know this video may leave you with more questions than answers. And there's just so much more. There's so much so much more for me to share on this channel. This is just the beginning. I'm going to be talking a lot more about this. I'm going to be talking a lot more about Ifa. I'm going to be talking a lot more about the shadow. And if you want a solid place to start, free ebook below, self-worship. And just a warning here, I am going to come out with the 2.0 by the end of this week. So when you get that first level, when you get that first edition, start there. And then in your email, you'll get the second one by getting the first one. So be on the lookout for that. And we begin Ogun energy at the end of June. So go to my website to understand what that really is and what that means. But until then, just allow this video to start the process of you questioning everything. That's all I have to say. I love you. Odabo.